Welcome to the Stogie Geek Show, episode 118, special 3-year anniversary edition in support of the CRA.
That was a mouthful.
That's what she said?
Ruh-roh. Told ya.
This episode is sponsored by Mr. J's Havana Smoke Shop, located here in Rhode Island. They have an outstanding selection of premium handmade cigars. And by the Havana Cigar Club, located in Warwick, Rhode Island. It's a great place to enjoy a drink and a cigar. Stogie Geeks listeners can find a $5 off coupon on our website by clicking the HCC logo. And by AJ Fernandez Cigars. AJ Fernandez Cigars are handcrafted in Nicaragua using the finest materials. Brands include the San Latano, Pinolero, and AJ's recently released New World brand. Visit them on the web at ajfernandezcigars.com. And by Debonair Cigars. Visit stogiegeeks.com/Debonair for a list of retailers who carry Debonair. Buy some today and get a little more Debonair. And by Ocean State Cigars. Try the J. Grotto Series cigar, including the Connecticut Shade Silk, the limited edition J. Grotto Reserva lines, and the new J. Grotto Anniversary series. Visit them on the web at oceanstatecigars.com for a list of retailers near you. Welcome, everyone, to this very special edition of the Stogie Geek Show. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian. I'm joined by lots of people here in the studio. We're going to be broadcasting all day today, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which we're already 11 minutes late, Will. Right. But in studio, Mr. Will Cooper, not on the lines via Skype. He's actually in studio sitting right next to me. And soon we'll cut to his camera. I'm not lying. Hey, there he is.
Okay.
Welcome, Will.
Hey, great to be back up here again. It's always good being with you guys.
Joining us I'll go right down the line. Joining us for our very special first segment where we're smoking the J. Grotto Connecticut Shade Silk Lancero. Mr. Paul Joyal has joined us.
How are
Welcome,
you?
Paul. Welcome back to the show.
Well, nice to see you.
Good seeing you, Paul.
You're in my neck of the woods now.
I know.
That's
Felt great.
We welcomed you with a little snow.
I know. It's appropriate. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Stogie Santa joins us today as well. Welcome, Stogie Santa.
Good morning instead of good evening.
He's got the French press going on over there.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are drinking that coffee from Zedman.
stuff.
I don't remember what it's called. Is it good? I'm glad it's good.
It was.
Mark Jr.'s lurking over there. He's
Yeah.
mowing. Is that a chicken, egg, and cheese on a biscuit from Chick-fil-A? Oh, it's so good.
Oh, man.
It's so good.
I could have got two of those, you know.
And
They would have ate them both.
No comment.
I definitely would. I could eat two of those things. They're awesome.
Every time you go by, the place is packed.
Not in the morning, though.
No?
Nope.
I got to check it out.
Yep. Sorry. We got diverted there. For your breakfast sandwich
Yeah,
distracted us.
exactly. And they're not a sponsor. What the
I
hell?
know.
I've never had that chicken and eggs in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Paul,
That's
it's
awesome.
Oh,
Really?
You got to try it.
Yep.
You got to try it. On a biscuit.
Yeah, on a biscuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
After that Thanksgiving feast I had for lunch yesterday, it literally was a Thanksgiving feast on one sandwich. I had
Nice.
turkey,
Would you go to
stuffing,
Harrison?
cranberry, all in one.
Nice. So, Paul, tell us the story behind the J. Grotto Connecticut Shade Silk. Because this size is not a size you really kind of planned on. And now we're here in the morning drinking coffee and smoking it as it's intended to be, right?
Well, excuse me. I released the Silk about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. The initial line we had was the J. Grotto Classic. Then we came out with the Reserve line. And the one thing we were missing at that point, there was a couple pieces missing. The Connecticut. I did not have a Connecticut, but I did not want the regular traditional Connecticut shade grown here in Windsor Locks, Connecticut. I wanted something a lot more flavorful. For me, I'm into flavor. So we worked with Alan Rubin at Alec Bradley Cigar, and this is the final result. It's a Connecticut shade wrapper, but it's grown in Ecuador. And like I said, the flavor on this is just immense. It's not your traditional mild Connecticut cigar. The other thing we did on this also, it's a little more costly, but we've put a double binder on here. Some people may ask, why do you put a double binder? If I can put this up, this is why. This is the way they burn. that double binder. You got an Indonesian binder and a Criollo 98 binder. The combustion rate on this cigar is so slow. It just really burns incredibly slow and cool, and just gives you flavor.
Right. And the double binder contributes to that, as well as flavor, too, right? I mean, you do get flavor from the binder.
Yeah, well, you got
Is it Peruvian binder in this one?
It's Criollo 98, and it's Indonesian.
Indonesian, okay.
And then the rest of it is a Honduras Trojes, from the Trojes region in Honduras, and a little Nicaraguan Jalapa. We initially released 4 sizes. We had the standard Robusto, Toro, Churchill, and a Gordo. Had to have a 660. And it was just this past spring in May, probably against Mark's advice. He had been saying no for a while. We're thinking about doing a Lancero. And he said, Lanceros don't sell. It's a tough sell. The cigar just took off right out of the box. It just took off, and we've already we're into our second production, and
I always really like. In fact, this is one of the original samples that you had given me, Paul. And I tell you what, when I first lit it up, I got a little bit of like a floral note when I first lit it up. That's dissipated, but it's very, and it's actually held up. So how long ago would you have given this to me? A year? When you had some of the first samples? I think you came on the show when we were. Yeah,
actually, it would have been. Yeah, it would have been.
About a year, right?
It would have made a year this past June.
Yeah, so this has been in my humidor for a year, and I tell you what.
That's 16 to 17 months.
Nowhere close to aging out. It still has tons of flavor.
No, absolutely. Smooth. And that's what we did. We ramped up to production. Initially, it was a nice problem to have, but it was a problem. We ran out. And I don't want to do that. I like to have everything aged. So, I mean, that one there has got a lot of age.
It's really good.
But what I'm smoking now literally came in was September, Mark? About mid-September, late September. We were out for about 8 weeks, but we're in good shape now. The production's in full stock, and we're cranking.
So now you've got the new Anniversary line, and that's been selling very well for you, as we've noticed to try and go by certain sizes. I know you said you don't like to run out. I hate to point out the fact that you've run out, but it's a good thing. That means they're selling well.
It's
right?
good. You can run out once.
Yeah.
You can just tell the truth. I mean, people say it's spin, but it's the truth. The production on the Maduro, the Anniversary, when we first came out, was literally double of the entire Silk production. And I knew I was in trouble in 4 weeks. I told Mark, I said, where are they? Where'd they go? And we literally ran out of Toros, Maduro, and the Perfecto 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, it looks like I called Mr. Phil Zengi and said, Phil, help me. I'm drowning. I'm in trouble. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the production going right away. Tobacco was ready when it's ready. And he said, Paul, we're just not going to rush this Connecticut broadleaf. It's got to be cured properly. Gave me the good news about 3 weeks ago. He said, we're going. I just got an email from Phil today. He's given me some numbers where we are, and we should be good to go mid-December. I say that, and I'm going to take it back. My staff, Mark and I, and my staff are going to smoke when they come in. And this isn't my first rodeo. If they're a little young, they're not going out.
Right.
I'm not going to make the mistake that I've seen other manufacturers make. How many times do you hear this, Will? Oh, gee, the first run was delicious. Got the second run in, they weren't the same.
Yeah, because they rushed them out.
Absolutely. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and especially with Connecticut broadleaf, it's not only youngness; it's anybody's Connecticut broadleaf. It's wetness too.
Right.
It takes longer.
It's got to be cured.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I find any darker kind of toothy wrapper, like even a Mexican San Andreas.
Right.
I like to take the cellophane off of that. I like to dry box that for a couple days. I find I get a much better smoking experience.
And I think that's across the board on any dark wrapper like that.
Yeah.
Take it out of the humidor, take it out of the cello if they're in cello. Dry them a little bit.
Yeah. Now, Paul, do you have you got the Anniversary? Do you have any other sizes that you're kind of experimenting with in the Anniversary, or are you pretty well like entrenched in the sizes you have?
Right now, my biggest thing is I just I need to get the production where it needs to be. I spoke to Phil, no issue with meeting this demand. He goes, absolutely not. I've had people asking me about a Lancero here. I'm always open to ideas. I know Mark and I have talked about this. The original blend on this Anniversary Maduro, we both loved, but we thought, Mark Jr., you smoked the original, did you not?
I
did. It was definitely
Mark
stronger.
Jr. doesn't have a headset yet.
It was much stronger.
And it's just, and it aged out. Aged. It aged. It came into its own. It's really a special.
We were a little afraid. I definitely was a little edgy about releasing that. I said, you know what? It might be a little too strong. I'd rather hit a bigger bullseye, so we knocked it down a little bit. But I'm not ruling out maybe coming out with one size later on of just a real limited one, just maybe one size, because Mark smoked one the other day and we smoked one.
Yeah,
he's been raving
boy,
about
did it age out.
It's one of my favorite blends. It really is.
Boy, did it age out.
We were doing the blending, and they were, and again, don't get me wrong, the Anniversary that's out now is a phenomenal blend, but the one we have hits a smaller market, and you can't do that, and I understand it. But for a limited run, if that's something we don't even know yet, but I tell you something, that cigar had great body. It really did.
What were the differences in how did you tweak the blend? Was it just a was it a ratio?
Yeah,
or
right. The more the VISO, cut back the VISO.
Or you cut back the VISO.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah, that was one of it, and a little something else, and it just it was a full body smoke. It wasn't.
One wrapper, one VISO wrapper was taken out.
Wow.
And we replaced it. But you know what? When I'm on the road now, I have people tell me this isn't a traditional Connecticut broadleaf. It's definitely got more zing than most.
Oh yeah. For me, it's a medium plus. Some people find it stronger. They call it a full body. I don't call it a full body smoke.
I find it medium plus, but I get people telling me full. What's your opinion on that?
I think it was when it came out, it was more on the full side, but as it's kind of
calmed
it's calmed down a bit.
Yeah.
And I mean that sweetness just really with that broadleaf came right out. With a little time too.
Different sweetness, like a malty type taste.
Malt, yep.
I'll tell you what I'm really interested in seeing is where this is going to be in 6 to 8 months or a year.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, it's going to take a while because I may very well be out of the 660 and the 4x58 by the time I get my other sizes in. So it's going to take a little time for me to build up and have some backstock between meeting the back orders and the demand on it. But I'm really anxious to see in a year from now.
Where's your headset? Oh, okay. Never mind.
We weren't anticipating Mark Jr. till this afternoon, so.
I asked. Well, that was me. I think he'd come down. So whatever. We'll work it out.
We'll get there.
Sometimes it's both of us on the air at the same time could be a problem.
We could get in there like Steven Tyler and Joe Perry.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, just share that.
This gentleman's supposed to be at his banking job, and yet
good thing he said banking.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. This is the first for me and Mark Jr. Not drinking a beverage besides coffee. This is unusual. Yeah. Yeah.
It's early in the day.
And you were quite the mixologist, Mark Jr., when we did the podcast at the Grotto.
I was. I tell you what.
A lot of those.
You were mixing, and there was a lot of
we got a lot of but it was great.
The Cheez-It show.
Oh yeah, the Cheez-Its.
The Cheez-It show.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, that was an interesting scenario, to say the least.
So what's been happening in the store? You got some new stuff coming in the store. You got some Opus X in the store. What other new things? I know I saw the email on the Opus.
The satin glove. I really enjoy that smoke. The San Andreas from KC.
Okay.
Surrogates.
That's that large
the box press.
Right.
I smoked
That's
that.
the longer one.
I really like
I
that.
like
I got a question to ask Casey, and I'm not going to put it on the air now because it's not appropriate. But I'm telling you, San Andreas is, to me, can be an overdone type of wrapper. I'm really picky and choosy. There's a couple are out there that some did. This particular one, I'm going to go on a ledge and say this. I think it's the best San Andreas released this year, by far. By far.
Well,
I really, really enjoy it.
That's big coming from Stogie Santa because I don't know how many times I've heard you say you're so San Andreas out.
I did.
You just tapped
I just
out
can't.
on it.
And then he did the Racine came in, his new Racine. And that was, I'm telling you, that's another one that's coming into its own. It really, it's an enjoyable
we were out
smoke.
for a while.
Yeah, well, we never got them. It was just that, again, demand, and Casey was very, very, he helped us out a great deal, as he usually does. Those are my two favorite releases at this time.
Casey's a stand-up guy.
Really good guy.
He makes good cigars too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's really, really good.
They built a nice brand in 2 years.
Yep.
Really have.
They sure did.
And I'll tell you right now, that Lat 46 and the higher primings, not just, Casey, but the higher primings take some time. Those things are just off the charts good. Right now, if you
It's
would,
always been your favorite.
yeah,
You
the
always
Lat
talk about
46, Mark Jr.'s the same way. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We're just, like tramp stamp him. He's got a great line here and there.
Dude, those are great.
Here we go. Watch out! And this is with caffeine, not alcohol. It's really good. What else we came out? What's that? The Añejo. That was about a month ago. What's it?
Oh, that smaller
88?
size, the 888.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that needs a lot of time.
A lot more time.
A lot more.
I went back and smoked one, and it still seemed like it needed more time.
Do you agree with that? What
They
do you
always
think?
do. They always do.
The 88.
I think all añejos need a little time.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. But particularly, I thought that was a little bit more young tasting than other ones. That
Yeah,
are out
I
there, but
agree. Yep.
Who knows? Maybe they just made them and sent them out. Where a lot of those 46, 50s, whatever, they're just sitting in a warehouse waiting to ship.
And my pronunciation of the word sometimes is not the greatest. I'll tell you a line that I didn't really push coming out of the show because whatever my opinion's worth, it was just needed a little bit more time. The Fumares, they are off the chart. They are now coming into their own big time.
That is let me tell you.
That's a hidden gem.
It's a hidden gem. If folks have not spoke, that's Illusione's new core line. What Dion and the folks at Casa Fernandez have done, they've just created a flavorful cigar without having to put the high priming tobacco in that thing.
Isn't it incredible?
It is. According, Dion was saying that some of that tobacco it had more sunlight and they were able to get more exposure and work with the lower primings on it. I'm telling you, that is really.
I'm really
I
happy
agree with
with
you
it.
on that.
And like
See,
I said,
I wasn't a big fan.
yeah, but
I
when
maybe
did you
I
smoke
you
that?
had- give
I
it a little-
smoked it when it first came in.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
tell you what, I did all the different lines, and they all were. I'm not saying they were small. You just knew what was this. It takes a little bit of a educated palate to find out what's going to be good down the road. I'm not saying we're better than anybody else, but a little seasoned palate
and
can figure
that's
that
what
out.
I missed the mark on. I was like, I don't know what the potential is going to be on this one. I know it's something I want to revisit the way you guys.
So
talked
now I'm
about
pushing it now, and it's
I would
it's
definitely
going.
revisit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys talk about doing a redo all the time.
All
Yeah,
the time,
that's
yeah.
a good.
Because
That's a
it's
good
not
point.
that you missed something.
Right.
It just wasn't there, or it wasn't fully coming out.
Right.
And then you do a redo 6 months later, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
I think he's had a monster year this year. He's really, really come to the plate. And what he did at the show, his booth, Coop and I had a conversation about this last night, and I tipped my cap to him. He's
Right.
really.
I heard some of his smoke well if you take some of the wrapper off.
Yeah.
It was like a cutter. It's inside. My
Yeah,
son
yeah,
could
Oh,
remove the
yeah,
wrapper.
yeah.
from
That's quite funny.
But
I
you
think
know,
I'm missing something.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was good. That was he was
Yeah.
at
Leave
the
it to
store.
my
Yeah, oh yeah.
kids.
Oh, he wanted you to get the experience of
That's
smoking
right.
the
That's
binder
right.
and the
It was,
filler.
It was perfectly
Yeah,
like he
you
did a
couldn't do it.
fantastic job.
And
like,
I don't know
slicing
how
up the wrapper.
you're talking what a 64th of an inch.
Yeah.
and it's perfect. I mean, like,
did you just give him a head start on one of your Paul Syndrome cigars? This way, you
Oh,
know,
yeah, there you
yeah.
hot ticket. But and there's, I'm sure I'm missing some other releases, and I don't mean to. You know,
You guys
that's.
had some I saw an email about Opus X coming in.
I didn't hear anything about that. Did you? No.
How
Nope.
have those been selling?
Maybe this is something we haven't heard in a while, but we don't have any more.
Yeah.
No, we did. We got 6 different sizes. The 2, one of my favorites. I'm telling you, it was either again Mark Jr. or yourself. Gave me an age, Chateau, the Fuente. That
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I mean, how often do you smoke an Opus X in the morning? Not often. Mm-hmm. Do that with a cup of coffee. It's like putting sugar in your coffee. It's so that oh, I love that. Number 2, what's the other one? And a Power Ranger.
Yep.
There's a couple. Double Robusto. Thank you, Mark. So there's 6 different sizes, and there's not much left of anything. So
I was going to say, I'm not even sure what's left.
Yeah,
Excuse
me either.
me. I mean, I'm
He's
on
been on the road.
I'm
He's-
on the road a
Yep.
lot, and I can't be in both places, so I'm not
But
even
it's
sure.
it's really good. And I'll tell you what, the other
No Petite Lanceros though.
No,
I haven't seen that size in a long time.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Because
I
I'm
really
pretty well
haven't.
stocked on like all the other sizes, but I'm like looking through.
and
I'm
we
like,
got
I don't
one
have a
more.
lot of
I
Petite
think 2
Lanceros.
more boxes of the Toast of America.
Yeah,
That's it.
Now,
Oh, yeah,
did
yeah.
you smoke the Julius Caesar?
No.
From that one, I smoked it, and the draw was so loose that it ruined my smoking experience.
Wow, really? I haven't.
Now I might have
did you
clipped
do
a little
anything?
too much
You don't
off
let
of
me
it,
age.
but I'm curious to see if anyone else smoked it and had a
No,
similar
I
experience.
haven't. I haven't tried it
The
out.
one thing that I did hear, and I've heard it from numerous stores, they had a little bit of some cracking cap issues
Yeah.
on them boxes.
Yeah. Yep.
They were definitely the cracking cap.
I haven't smoked the Opus in there yet. I mean, because it smells like young Opus, like cat.
It's
litter.
amazing. It's hard to It's just,
I would definitely hold off.
watch
I
of
mean,
all people, he won't get the crack. He'll get
Yeah,
crack.
no,
But it'll be
cap.
plugged,
Yeah.
no crack, just plug.
Why is it we always talk about cracks? I don't understand this.
I don't understand
okay,
it.
let's go.
So you had a tent sale recently.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How did that go? I know I cleaned up. I was kinda,
Pete confirmed the story last night. How you
I was out of control.
how you basically manhandled him for those T52s.
No one had my leash.
No. We had a
completely
gentleman. It was
unleashed.
so far. He was reaching his limit. He says, "Which one should I put down?" I says, "That's not my call." You know what I mean? Because you don't want to do if you say this or that, and he puts it down. I'm telling you, as quick as I'm putting the cell phone down, I see this hand, and Paul. That had to have at least probably 2 or. The T52 sampler
set.
set, and
I
it had
smoked
at
the
least
Toro.
that was the
Oh,
original
yeah.
release.
The Toro
That was original. That was
Original
Toro
release.
was Oasis on the
Wow!
Toro.
Original
First thing
release.
I got like 10:30 at night. I get a message.
text.
Yeah, right. No.
Oasis.
I said must be good.
You know,
Oh
I
man.
try and do that. I do it once a year, usually in the fall.
Yep.
I know other stores do it. Quite frankly, I'm not sure why every store doesn't do it. Because if a store tells me that they don't have dead product in their humidor, they're lying. It just happens. The nature of the beast. Something's selling real well. It knows it goes off. It's not paying its rent anymore. You have 2 choices: leave it on a shelf, take valuable space where you could be making money somewhere else, and leave it there, or move it. I'll move it all day long.
Yep.
Ideally, I would rather not have to do this. Then I could just maximize everything. But I would definitely rather move product, get something new, make my money, and it keeps it going. That's why when guys come walking in and say, "What do you got new?" I've always got something new because I've got the room for it. It's like, and I'm not getting backed up.
Right. I like to take the discount, and I like to buy stuff that I smoke every day. You know, morning smoke. You know, while I'm in the yard or on the boat or. Even just, on the way to work in the car or whatever. That's a great way to stock up on that stuff.
Right, it really is. But, okay, I'm going to change the direction here a little bit. Here we are talking about different things. I'm going to go around the table and start with you, Paul. What would you say, and not any given order, say the top 3 or 4 smokes this year that has really sent to you, not so much Oasis, but really caught your attention that you would call that could be in contention of the top 10, top 20 or whatever?
I got one of those right here. And I brought 2 of them for me to smoke. And that would be the Davidoff Royal Salomon.
What?
That'd be my pick. I found these in my humidor. They're really, these are $50 a stick. But I have to say, like, something that really stood out for me.
Wow.
That I didn't think I was going to enjoy, like, a gigantic stick like this. But it smokes awesome. The flavors are just awesome. It has great transitions. Then that would be my pick for my contender right now.
That's surprising because you never smoked that size.
No, I'm not a big, this is even big. So I like the Paul Gamarian Salomon. That's the other one that I got.
That's always
But
fun.
look at the size
Oh, yeah.
difference.
That's huge.
Yeah, and this is a big, that's
What's
a big
that, 2.5 hours?
At least almost
a meal.
3. Yeah,
It's
this
a
is like
meal.
almost 3. Yeah.
No, I mean, without going too long in depth, what stands out? What makes that cigar and flavor that makes it feel that way?
Yeah, it's got like this kind of buttery component to it. But it makes a lot of different transitions. You get like a little bit of cinnamon. You get those kind of subtle Davidoff flavors that when they're on the mark, you pick up those subtle flavors. But I'd say overall, it's kind of like a buttery, kind of silky experience for me. So,
Coop?
Right now, I'll say 2 cigars. Nat Sherman's, Joel Sherman's 75th celebration, which one of those cigars, it's a journey. A lot of transitions in that cigar. It's one of those cigars I say you want to basically smoke it on a desert island and not be distracted.
Yep.
Because that's how you're going to get the most out of that. And the other one coming out of that same factory is the Casada Q40 Corona Classica, which is the natural wrapper that's on there. And there's a Nat Sherman there.
Yep.
right, there's a Nat Sherman.
Of the 40th anniversaries that Casada came out with, I really think that Corona Classica was the one that hit the mark.
Oh, head and shoulders above everything else.
It really was a special cigar. So I mean, those are 2 standouts happening to come out of the DR this year. The Casada factories, both of them.
How about you, Paul?
That's a hard question to ask me because I'm going to sound like a shill. I mean, what do you want me to say? This year I was absolutely blessed to receive a 94 rating on another cigar released about a year ago, and that was the J. Grotto Reserva Lancero. That will be in, I've already been notified, that will be in Cigar and Spirits top 20 cigars of the year. That Lancero Reserve is just absolutely fantastic. And, of course, like I said, I mean, I'm on a show. Why not? I'm going to I just love the brand new Maduro blend, Perfecto. And I'm really interested to see what kind of reviews and ratings we get on that Perfecto. So
I'm going to turn it over to Mark over
I'm going
here.
to show out. I'm going with my stuff.
It's solid, Paul.
I agree with Coop's assessment on the Joel Sherman. I thought that was a really awesome smoke. I also agree with Paul. That new Perfecto that you have, I think, is a really awesome smoke. But something that hasn't been mentioned, right, is that new Connecticut My Father.
Now that's a surprise.
That's right up your alley. I smoked that. I'm like, Mark Jr.'s going to like this.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I
surprising.
really like it. It's something that sort of turned my head a little bit more than what I expected it to do, and
Now, that's Ecuador as well, right?
it is.
Yeah.
And it's got Nicaraguan binder and filler, I think, right? So it's sort of a spicy cigar with that creaminess of the Connecticut.
Yeah.
Especially if you get it in the Corona Gorda, right?
Yep, that's what I smoked
I
with.
also like the Toro, but that Corona Gorda really provides that spice and something that's been brand new,
That is a
this
great
year
cigar.
that I thought has been really just sort of a staple for me, right? Like I go to it pretty regularly.
Absolutely. And I do agree with you, Coop. That Nat Sherman, Joel 75th.
It's
I
no
just
doubt.
love that cigar.
I mean, what they did, that's a
Stellar.
home run.
Yeah, right. I came back from the show and with in Vegas, and I said that, and I'm not. A lot of people looked at me and said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "Wait till you try the cigar." And another one that I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to say he's going to be the top 20, but one that I'm so happy that he come out with this is the EPC's 5th anniversary. I think it's a great blend.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to put it in the top 10. I don't know. I'm just saying something that sticks out
What
for
a
me.
value cigar it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
$8
change.
Yeah.
$8. It's to me a mild medium.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't find it strong. Do you?
See, I thought the strengths picked up in
thought
the
it was
second half.
medium.
Picked up in the
I
final.
thought it was medium.
never got to the past medium mark, but I love what Casada does, or anyone like that, and like a Silk or something. I'm not into seeing something that's and it's my opinion, my feeling. I don't need a lot of strength. Flavors where I want it, and that 5th when I was at the show, it just took me away. And at the shop, they're just moving very well.
That cigar blew Mark away.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Because he told me one night, and this is a true story, absolutely. And he said, Paul, I want you to try this cigar. Try the 5th tonight because we just got them in. And I said, okay, I'll try the EPC 5-year anniversary. He said, I want you to call me and tell me what you think of it. I didn't realize. I mean, he's at home and he's waiting for me to call, and I got in my lounge and I had a chance to sit down and actually sit and enjoy it.
Right.
I got into the cigar so much. I remember thinking to myself, "Oh yeah, Mark wants me to call him," and it was like, screw that. I'm just sitting here and enjoying this thing. Now, when I really love a cigar, I get into it. It's like I just zone everybody out. So I smoked this thing, and I was like, wow, is this delicious. So the next morning, he comes in, he goes, oh, boy, what's the matter? He goes, you didn't call me. You didn't like it? And I was like, oh, sorry, Mark, I blew you off. I loved the cigar.
Yeah.
It was delicious. I said, and I just didn't want to interrupt it to call you.
Right, and I'm going to tell you something.
Kudos to him.
Right.
Kudos to Ernesto.
I'm just so happy. I mean, the man is the most humble, gracious man. Every time he comes in the shop, the first thing he doesn't do, he doesn't go see Paul. He goes to see his parents. What's that tell you about the man? He's not. It's not about selling with him. And his. I just have. I don't know him as well as Paul has a relationship that goes 15 years back.
I
like
I like the La Historia too. A lot.
I know. Not. You know something? It's because of my. It's not. It's not. It's
dry,
a dryness.
Try dry boxing it.
Yeah, really.
Dry box it for a day or two.
Really?
Then smoke it.
I just don't see it. Yeah. Oh, his. I'll
we've
tell
got
you.
some samples of those.
Yeah. We got those.
Yeah. I hate to cut short, but we're gonna take a break and we're gonna go to the next segment.
Absolutely.
Paul, everyone, thanks for coming down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
OceanStateCigars.com.
Thank
you can call the store directly. You can find other retailers in the country who carry Paul's line of cigars. You can get the Silk. You can get the new Anniversary series. So with that, we're going to take a short break and come back. And we've got our first interview from our latest sponsor coming up next, AJ Fernandez. Robbie from AJ Fernandez will come on. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ciao for now.